Hello learners and welcome back to your own channel LIY English, Learn It Yourself. So this is the third part and the last video on the Unit 4.1 History of English Drama from Class 11th English. I have already uploaded 2 videos on this unit in which we learnt about the history of drama in English literature and the elements of drama in detail. Both the parts have separate videos with Hindi and English explanation. I will put the links of all the previous videos in the description box. Go through the previous parts if you haven't before proceeding with this one. For the third part also there will be another video with Hindi explanation as this one is in English. So without further delay, let's start learning. Let me tell you briefly what we'll be learning in this video first. We'll be looking at the types of drama in short, then we will learn about one-act play in detail. Up till now, we have already learned that drama is a specific form of literature in which the story is presented through performance on stage by the actors who deliver the dialogues of the script and act as indicated to them by the playwright. The genre of drama is divided among the 3 main categories, which are tragedy, comedy, and tragic comedy. Let's look at the first category of tragedy. I'm sure the word sounds familiar to you. Stories revolving around the themes of murder, deaths, pain, suffering, and loss come under the category of tragedy. Such kind of dramas implant the feeling of fear, pain, pity, and sadness among the viewers. Generally, they end on a sad note. Then we have comedy, which all of us love and enjoy. Comedies are usually humorous or funny plays. Comedy is the type of drama that makes us laugh and enjoy. They uplift our moods and they mostly end happily. Now the genre of comedy itself is very vast as it is further divided among subcategories of romantic comedy, sentimental comedy, classical comedy, comedy of humor, and comedy of manners. Let us learn about each one of them. First, we'll look at the romantic comedy. Romantic comedy is a story revolving around the theme of love. This type of comedy was often found in the works of Shakespeare. In fact, his very famous work in romantic comedy titled as Midsummer's Night Dream is given in your textbook which you'll study further in the unit. The story usually revolves around 2 lovers who are meant for each other, who are perfect for each other, yet they are kept apart due to some conflict in the story. But in the end, they are finally united. The aim here is to simply entertain the audience. Next we have is the sentimental comedy. Sentimental comedy was a popular genre in the 17th and 18th century that explored the struggles and problems of middle class characters and their methods of overcoming these challenges. Instead of making the viewers laugh, this type of comedy was designed to make them sentimental and emotional. Next we have classical comedy. Classical comedy is a kind of comedy wherein the author follows the classical rules of ancient Greek and Roman writers. The most important classical rule is that there is no mixing or mingling of different kinds of elements of different kinds of categories like tragic or comic. It focuses only on that segment of human life that is happy, and it is meant to make people laugh. Then the fourth type of comedy is the comedy of humor. It was introduced by Ben Jonson. The comedy of humor is that type of dramatic comedy that focuses on a character who exhibits 2 or more overriding traits or quality that dominates his personality and thereby creates comedy. And the last one is the comedy of manners. The term comedy of manners describes a genre of realistic satirical comedy of the Restoration period that questions and comments upon the manners and social conventions of a greatly sophisticated artificial society. So it is basically concerned with satirizing society's manners. Now let's move on to the third category of drama, which is tragic comedy. As the name suggests, it is a kind of drama that combines and mixes the elements of both tragedy and comedy. Such plays may be sad with happy ending. In such kinds of drama, serious story is told in a humorous way. I hope you understood all these different types of drama. If you have any query though, please let me know in the comment box and I will try my best to address them. Now learners, apart from these different categories of drama, special focus has been laid on one-act play in your textbook. In fact, one great example of one-act play is given in the book in the form of Unit number 4.2 for your clearer understanding. So let us learn what a one-act play is. A one-act play is not exactly a shortened play. In fact, it is a complete story with the beginning, the middle and the end. But it has to be performed on the stage in stipulated time. The plot of one-act play also is very simple and is limited to a single interesting episode. The action too is confined to a single interesting episode. Now let us look at the features of one-act play to understand it better. So a one-act play has one or more scenes and is generally concise in manner, very short, and has a single dominant theme which produces singular effect. The themes generally revolves around the problems of everyday life. It creates mood or atmosphere which is suitable to the story, has unity of time, place and action. It has limited characters. It has simplicity of plot, concentration of action and unity of impression. It presents a question and answers of which are eagerly awaited by the audience. It has a beginning, a middle and an end. The stages of a one-act play are as follows. It starts with exposition, which is basically an introduction which has to be very brief and simple and small. Then we have conflict, which is the backbone of any drama or story. You see that in a drama which is presented in front of you, conflict or problem slowly starts to develop. The problem, the main question of the whole play is presented in front of the audience. Then we see climax, which is a turning point or a twist in the story. It is an important part of the story. Then comes the denouement, and it is the final part of a play which explains or resolves the matter, solves the problem and gives the answers to the questions. So this is how a one-act play is performed. You will understand it completely, I'm sure, when you learn the unit number 4.2, The Rising of the Moon by Lady Gregory, as this is the best example of a one-act play. So that's it for this video. We have finally completed the unit number 4.1 in detail. Here, I want to take up a moment to assure you learners that the reason for making these kind of videos is to make it interesting for you all. And if I'm not simply reading from the textbook, doesn't mean that I'm leaving out anything. As my aim is always to give more than what the textbook can offer, and you will never find anything less than the textbook in my videos. And trust me, it takes a lot of time and hard work to create such kind of videos. So rest assured and enjoy the learning with me. The reason I'm saying this is that there were a couple of learners who were suggesting me that I should be reading from the textbook and explaining, which I do actually for the prose and the poem. However, such kinds of topics which are informative, I feel is better understood this way. So I try and take the liberty and make them as interesting and as best as I can. So if you like my videos, please show some support by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and share among your friends too, as good things should always be shared. Happy learning and thank you very much.